Here's a present for you.
Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, it is the holiday season, thus it must be Techmas season. So in the Techmas videos here, we'll have one for Dragon Ball, as you're watching right now, and also one for Street Fighter V and Mortal Kombat 11. This year, we're just going to be doing it as a big old grab bag of tech. So I'm going to put a couple random pieces of tech in this video, and of course there'll be timestamps if you want to skip around. So without any further ado, hey, let's get to it. So for our first Techmas tip, we're going to go over a classic here, and that is the mid-screen 50-50 left-right mix-up. So this is a snapback mix-up. This is mid-screen. It doesn't got to be in the corner. You don't need corners. You don't need assists. You don't need any of that stuff, right? All you need is yourself and an enemy you're snapping back. Now, you cannot do this with every single character in the game, but you can do it with a lot of characters. I'm doing it with Super Saiyan Goku, and if Super Saiyan Goku can do it, a lot of characters can do it, right? So all you have to do is snap the enemy back mid-screen, and once you snap them back, you're just going to do a brief little run, and immediately cancel into a forward jump, and then go for light. So if it connects, hey, cool. Hit confirm, go into a combo, all that kind of fun stuff, right? But if they block it, which they usually will, it'll look something like this. So they just block the light, and hey, we're directly on top of them, right? But here's the thing. Due to the height differential of the block, we can actually sneak underneath the enemy. Hey, look at that. We escaped to the other side. And if we can escape to the other side, I'm sure the wheels are already turning in your head, then you probably know what we can do next, right? We can then cancel that dash under into a down am or whatever you want to do, right? So in essence, right there, we have a little bit of a left-right mix. Also, once again, since it's a left-right mix, you can also just stay same side as well, right? Like, that's not really an issue. I'll just show you one more time here with my inputs on. Literally that simple. Once again, quite a few characters can do it. In the history of Dragon Ball FighterZ, I guess the character most famous for the setup is Android 21 because it's the easiest for her to do it. But once again here, Super Saiyan Goku doing it, and a lot of characters can do it. Once again, it's basically predicated on them just blocking the light. If you have a character that doesn't have a good light on block, then that's probably going to be the death of it right there. But other than that, it's literally that simple. You just force them to block light, then do nothing, down M, you can stay the same side, or quickly dash under, cancel into a down M, or whatever button you want, and you cross underneath. That is the essence of the mid-screen 50-50 snapback. So for our next Techmas tip, actually, it's going to be following on. It's a sequel to our first one here. I use Super Saiyan Goku to show you the mix, because this next one is Super Saiyan Goku specific. Super gimmicky. This is basically if you need to win around or kill a character, basically, right? People won't fall for it twice, more than likely, but the first time, they'll fall for it every time, because it's just incredibly visually tricky. So we're going to do that same basic snapback we saw earlier. That guy right there. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to land and immediately go for the EX version of the Dragon Punch. And let's see what happens when we do it. Huh. So let's look at that again in real slow motion. So what you just saw was me starting the animation started on the one side because I was technically underneath the enemy on the other side, and then it recorrects itself, and then the teleport punch comes out on the other side. So once again, this is just incredibly a visually tricky thing. It's not too difficult. All you have to do is just input the EX move on the player 2 side so it auto-corrects, and that's all there is to it. Once again, first time, nobody's blocking that. First time, nobody's in the world's going to block that. After you do it a couple times, well, they'll probably understand the gimmick, right? But once again, you see the immediate visual flash on this side, and then the actual attack's coming from this side, which is incredibly discombobulating, and everyone's going to fall for it. For our next Techmas tip, we're going to talk about Cooler. So if you watch the Dragon Ball Super Broly tips and tricks guides, one or both of them, hopefully both, you saw how Dragon Ball Super Broly can do stuff like use the universal overhead to create crazy situations where you can combo after it and be plus on block. And I'm here to tell you, hey, Cooler was doing that first. This is not a new concept. Cooler is the master of this concept as far as I'm concerned. Because he was doing that stuff on day one, just no one really knows about it because no one ever really uses it or even plays Cooler, sadly. But here, I am here to show you how to do it. So this concept, and its two versions, one with the universal overhead, one with his medium dive kick, they need very specific combos because you need to be at a very specific height to start this, otherwise none of this works, right? So I'll show you the universal overhead version of the combo first here, and I'll turn our inputs on. So this is what you want to be going for here, basically. So that's the combo, and luckily it's very, very close to the optimal damage for Cooler solo combo anyways. It's like 100 points off maybe. So yeah, that's the combo you want because it'll give you basically the exact frame advantage you need to land and make everything work. So that said, here, let's show it now, and let's see how it works. Hey, so there you go. See how meaty that hit? So we are +5 on block thanks to that connecting. Normally, hey, overheads are not +5 on block, they're even on block, right? So that is +5 on block. And if they up tech, it's even more plus on block. So now we know that, and just so you know, there's no possible way to hit buttons out of this. There's no invincible reversals you can do. It also counts as a safe jump effectively, so you always get the block in time. The ball is just straight up in your court. So now let's show what happens when you get your hit. Oh hey, 3 hits, natural combo, right? Perfect. And if they up tech as well, hey, we still get a combo. There you go, easy peasy. You got enough time to visually hit confirm whether or not they back tech or up tech thanks to the hit stop of the overhead. And if they up tech, then just jump jab and just combo from there. It's literally that simple. So now we showed the overhead stuff, and once again, you can't mash out of it. There's no invincible reversal to save you because it's a safe jump. Your only options are reflect or down tech. So now let's show you the other alternate option here, which is using the medium dive kick. And the medium dive kick is plus on block by itself naturally, right? So that's awesome. And much the same here. No up techs, no vanish possibility, no nothing other than just, reflect or delay tech, right? The combo is slightly different, and it does more damage, so it works. And also, just so you note here, this will also beat Wake Up Down Heavy. The Down Heavy does not have enough time for the anti-air invincibility frames to pop in. So yeah, it's pretty safe against pretty much everything. And immediately upon you landing, go for the medium dive kick. And once again, beats everything. Beats up techs, beats back techs, no buttons. You can't down heavy it, all that kind of fun stuff. Now, this one's not a safe jump like the overhead is, just so you know. So, Wake Up DP will beat it. But one thing you can do also is do the light dive kick instead. And what'll happen is it'll actually conclude before anything can happen. So if they Wake Up deflect, basically your Wake Up dive kick will miss. They Wake Up deflect, at which point you can just Dragon Rush them, all that fun stuff, right? So, hey, Cooler got a lot of options for pressure by himself is what I'm trying to tell you. It's certainly not unique and only to like Dragon Ball Super Broly, which I showed in the guide. Cooler can do stuff by himself. He doesn't need assists. He catches all attacks. It's always his turn, basically. So, hey, Cooler's a very underrepresented character. Let's put it that way, right? So hopefully, hey, now you know something about Cooler. Hey, maybe give him a shot. So for our next tip, we're going to talk about Kid Buu and the staircase combo. So if you're familiar with Marvel vs. Capcom, you probably know a lot about staircase combos. The only difference in this one is instead of going up the staircase, you're going down the staircase. So for Kid Buu, this only works against large characters, just FYI. If you're trying to do this against your tiny boys, your Kid Gokus, your Teen Gohans, it's just not going to work. You need big guys that have big hurt boxes to make this happen. So let's just show you an example. So that's a basic example right there. It's really all about timing, and as you can see here, you can get a lot more hits off, especially regular old down H, than you normally ever could, and that's thanks to this combo. So what makes it work? Well, the single most key thing is this. So after you're down H or anything, like you can do combos where you have the enemy knocked in and you're doing like a homing dash after. Like it all depends just the height and the angle, right? For this example, we're just using down H. But after you're down H, what you want to do here is obviously you want a homing dash afterwards. And from there, what you're going to do is LM. And when you do jump M, obviously you have 2 hits, right? But you're going to immediately jump cancel straight up, not diagonal, just straight up into another M. Like this. So now you're comfortably on top of it and just work the staircase down from there. So once you get this, then jump S. Got to time it better than that because I timed it wrong, so I missed it, right? But then jump S, and as you see there, you jump S on top of their head, and they're going to get popped up a little bit because of, the usual hitbox interactions. And you're going to fall into an LL, which will give you the auto combo, and just basically repeat. The more reps you do, it is harder to do, to be sure. But yeah, that is all it is. Once again, big character only. Don't be doing this against the small characters. Give it a shot in practice. See how it works for you. Normally, I wouldn't like to give away tech against big characters because I hate the small characters and I love the big characters, but it's tech miss, goddammit. So that's what we're going to do. And now you know the kid boost staircase. So for our next Tech Miss tip, let's talk about Broly, because of course I have to have a Broly thing in here because it's the rooflemonger channel. We're going to talk about snapbacks and Broly. So Broly's never been the most snapback, mix-up, high-level tech character because he doesn't really need to, right? Like, yo, he's got the air grab. He has the armored air grab, right? So that beats out most options by itself because you can back dash it and you can do invincible reversal, and that's about it. You can't jump it, you can't forward dash out of it, you can't do anything. So, like, we never really think too much about Broly snapbacks because he always has this, like, one overwhelming option, right? But I'll just show you a basic snapback setup that works against 99% options, and it's not difficult at all. So what we're going to do here is this. We're going to snap back, hold up, so no timing need, just hold straight up. We're going to whiff a jump M, just purely for timing. And right before we land here, we're going to hit jump L. And jump L, as you see here, hits on incoming just fine. No problem. And from there, combos right in the down heavy. We can jump into it as well. Like all that fun stuff, right? So we can jump into it, and down heavy has its own little mini mix-up if they block it as well, right? So world's our oyster. There's only really one way out of this specific setup, and that is if they jump right away. Just jump straight up in the air. They jump straight up in the air, they avoid it. And it could be any diagonal, it doesn't really matter. If they try to backdash, they get hit. If they try to forward dash, they get hit. Try to hit a button, they get hit. All that, usual stuff. And this is why we use jump in as our timing here. If you suspect they're going to try to jump up and get out of it, well, hey, then immediately go for the air grab after you whiff that jump in for timing, right? And once again, the air grab will still beat all the stuff it usually beats anyway, so basically everything other than backdashes and invincible moves. And the extra little handy thing about this setup here is if they are doing an invincible reversal on their incoming, well then, hey, since you're doing it right as you land anyways, plenty of time to block. Oh, hey, avoid it. No problem. We avoided that, no problem. Same deal if they want to do like level 3 or whatever. Doesn't really matter. It gives you tons of time to just land and block. So once again, most of Broly's snapback is really just the threat of this because it beats so many options. But now you know this little setup here, and it catches a lot of options by itself. And now your Broly snapback game is just that much better. And our final piece of tech for Techmas here has to do with Bardock. So if you're a fan of the lore of Dragon Ball, you know Bardock is a masterful, world-class scientist. And before you argue dub versus sub stuff, whatever, shut up. He's a scientist for the purpose of this tech piece, right? Because he's invented the magnet gun. So to bring out the power of the magnet gun, we're going to need cooler here because we need a very specific height. But yeah, let's just show you, a very basic combo. This is nothing special, and let's see the results. Alright, charging up the magnet gun. Wait, what on earth happened there? Normally we do the Rod Javelin here and they got blown back. Why did they get sucked in? But yeah, as far as I can tell, Cooler's level 1 super and Bardock's level 1, they just interact in a way that just makes this madness happen. Once again, it's basically all about a very specific height. And the way the two supers interact, just drag the enemy towards you. And for Bardock, this is definitely very favorable because you're right on top of him, so you can do all the usual Bardock stuff. Feel free to play around with this and, just come to your own conclusions on how this works. I'm not sure why this works the way it works. But all I can tell you is after that level 1, Bardock says, "Get over here," and drags you in just like Scorpion, and you're just directly on top of him. So that is your little bit of stalking of tech for Techmas. Just a little grab bag of random stuff, and hey, I hope you like it. There will also be Street Fighter V and Mortal Kombat 11 ones upcoming. And hey, if this is the last video that you see before Christmas, well then hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Wish all the best for you guys. And that is the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. Go and play some Dragon Ball.